A faint shadow seemed to coil around her feet like black smoke. Her eyes flashed, but only for a second. Then she leaned closer and whispered, "Children who reject change often disappear." Tunde's breath caught. Morayo straightened, the shadow beneath her vanishing as quickly as it formed. She smoothed her clothes and turned towards the house. "Your father will call you son. Behave yourself." She entered the house without another glance. Tunde stood rooted to the ground, heart pounding so loudly it drowned out the market noises. He didn't imagine the shadow. He didn't imagine the sudden cold. Morayo wasn't just dangerous. She was powerful, too powerful. And somehow she sensed the presence of the ancestors. He whispered to himself, shaking, "What is she?" A quiet voice answered behind him, "You should not be asking what she is, but from where she has come." Tunde wheeled around. It was Aisha, his closest friend, a girl from the next compound. She was carrying a clay pot on her hip, her forehead glittering like sweat. "Aisha," Tunde breathed, "how long have you been standing there?" "Long enough," she replied. "I saw the way she spoke to you." "That woman, she carries no shadow." Tunde blinked. "What?" Aisha looked around, lowered her voice and said, "Everyone has a shadow when they walk in sunlight. Everyone. I have been watching her for weeks. No matter what time of day, no matter the angle of the sun, I have never seen her cast a single shadow." A chill ran down Tunde's arms. He remembered the moment she approached him earlier under the bright mid-morning light. He didn't remember her shadow either. Aisha continued, voice trembling. "Mama Tenny told me creatures like that exist. They walk like us, talk like us, but they are not flesh. They feed on families. They join a household, drain its strength, and leave ruins behind." Tunde felt sick. He looked back at his house. His father was inside, smiling, planning to marry a creature he didn't understand. A creature with no shadow. A creature that threatened children. A creature his mother's spirit warned him about. Aisha touched his arm. "Tunde, what do we do?" He took a deep breath. "I'm going to see Baba Ogunremi." "Now?" Aisha's eyes widened. "But he doesn't see people unless—" "I don't have a choice," Tunde said. "If I want to save my father, I need answers the living cannot give." He picked up his walking staff, his father's old hunting stick, and started down the narrow red earth path toward the forest. Aisha ran after him. "I'm coming with you." "No, Aisha, it's dangerous. You can't go alone." Tunde hesitated, then nodded. Together they moved quickly through the dusty paths out of Apara-Oke, heading towards the sacred forest. Birds fell silent as they approached. The wind stilled. The trees loomed tall, ancient, and knowing. At the edge of the forest, Aisha stopped. "Tunde," she whispered, "look at the ground." He looked. There was only one set of footprints. His. Aisha's footprint had vanished behind them, completely gone after only a few steps. Tunde's breath faltered. "Aisha, why isn't the sand holding your steps?" But Aisha didn't answer. She was staring ahead, eyes wide with terror, because standing right in front of them, blocking the entrance into the sacred forest, was a tall, cloaked figure, whose face was hidden beneath a hood of woven raffias. The figure lifted its head and slowly raised one bony finger toward Tunde. "Tunde Adewale," the voice rasped. "You should not have left home." The cloaked figure stood at the entrance of the sacred forest, tall and unmoving, like a statue carved by the hands of forgotten gods. The raffia stood shifted slightly with the breeze, but the figure's posture remained rigid. Tunde felt Aisha grip his arm, her nails digging into his skin. "Tunde Adewale," the voice repeated, hollow and shaking like dry gods. Why have you come? We seek Baba Ogunremi. Tunde managed. His voice cracked like brittle wood. The figure tilted its head slowly. The way an owl studies prey. No one seeks Baba Ogunremi unless those summoned may pass. Aisha stepped forward, trembling. Please, we are not here for trouble. We need guidance. Something terrible is happening in Apara-Oke. The hooded figure lifted one thin hand and pointed at Aisha. You, it whispered. You walk without footsteps. You are clocked by a different path. Aisha gasped, stepping back. I don't know why that is happening. Tunde swallowed hard. We mean no harm. We just silence. The figure struck the staff it carried against the ground. A tremor rolled through the earth, shaking dust from the trees. You bring danger to this forest. Darkness follows you. A shadowless woman seeks your blood. Tunde's heart jumped. So you know? The figure nodded slowly. She who carries no shadow is not of this land, not of the clans of men. She's one of the Ajagun, the bringers of silent ruin. Aisha gasped. Ajogun, spirits of misfortune. Yes, the figure said. She feeds on families. She enters through love but leaves only ashes. Tunde felt his knees weaken. She wants to marry my father. The figure's head snapped up. Then your father is as good as gone. No, Tunde shouted. There must be something we can do. The figure studied him for a long time before finally speaking. You have been chosen by the ancestors. The forest recognizes your bloodline. The spirits whisper your name. Tunde's breath caught. I will let you pass. The figure continued. But know this, Baba Ogunremi does not answer questions. He answers destinies. The figure raised its staff and struck the earth again. The forest shifted. The trees parted, forming a narrow path glowing faintly with ancestral energy. Enter, the figure said, and pray your spirit is strong enough to survive what you will learn. Tunde took Aisha's hands, and together they stepped into the ancient forest, the gatekeeper's voice echoing behind them. Remember, child of Adewale, not all truths can be carried by mortals. Some truths carry you. The forest swallowed them whole. The moment they crossed into the forest, the air grew thicker, dense with old magic. Drums echoed faintly from nowhere and everywhere at once. The trees towered impossibly high, their branches twisting like the limbs of giants frozen mid-dance. Aisha whispered, is this really a forest or another world entirely? Tunde wasn't sure. Roots glowed faintly under their feet. Fireflies danced above them in spirals, forming shapes, cowries, eyes, masks. The forest itself seemed alive, aware, watching them. After what felt like an hour, they reached a circular clearing field with white sand. In the center sat a small round hut with a roof thatched with leaves of the Iroko tree. From within came the smell of incense and ancient secrets. Tunde swallowed hard. This must be it. They approached slowly. Before they could knock, a deep voice spoke from inside. Enter, children of fear. Tunde felt the ground vibrate with the voice power. He pushed aside the curtain of cowries and stepped inside. The hut was dimly lit by palm oil lamps. The smoke curled towards the roof, forming shapes that moved like spirits dancing. Strange symbols covered the walls, some glowing faintly. And there, sitting crossed-legged on a mat made of tiger skin, was Baba Ogunremi. His beard was long and white, reaching his chest. His skin looked like carved mahogany. His eyes, those eyes, burned with red fire, glowing like heated coal. They weren't human. They saw beyond flesh and bone. I have waited for you, Tunde Adewale, he said, his voice echoing as though multiple spirits spoke at once. You, You know my name? Tunde whispered. Your name has been written on the wind since dawn.